Hello, darling. I have some more questions from the Witch Hat for you today. These are all questions submitted to me by the collective. If you're new here, I am a professional tarot reader and mystic mentor. Let's explore our conscious healing journey together, shall we? The question today is a reading to work with the frustration of not understanding someone's visions or your own visions, how to interpret them, and how to understand your guides better. Awesome, let's get into it. So right off the bat here, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is a reminder that within each and every single person is the ability to utilize their extrasensory perception. That's really what a psychic gift is, what your intuition is. It's like being able to really tap into some sort of like the primal essence of your body's receptors to the world around you. There's a lot of science that confirms the idea that our minds are part of the co-creation of consciousness and reality. And so your intuition, your guides, all of those sorts of things are the way that you as an individual connects to this sort of larger superconscious. And so the High Priestess really is pointing you in the direction of trusting your own unique way of getting the message, you know? Like some of the clients that I've worked with are very primal people. Like they need to be out in the wild, in the silence, connecting with the land spirits and listening out of their normal environment. There are some people who are like digital witches who like get all of their information from, you know, songs that they hear when they're at the gym or at the grocery store, and they feel like they're really communicated to that way. There's also people who receive messages sort of like through their dreams or spontaneously, you know, all of these sorts of different things. And even throughout your journey, it's likely to change the way that you receive messages most. So the High Priestess really encourages you to get creative when it comes to your spiritual practice. Now, it's also really important to acknowledge that right now, specifically, astrologically and sociopolitically, there's a lot of change and a lot of discord that's like ringing through the consciousness, the collective, the waves. And so now it's more important than ever to really focus on grounding and to really focus on like going within instead of reaching without. That's another indicator from the High Priestess. It's like, you know, one of the reasons why you could be really frustrated about not understanding your visions is that you're looking so much for like divine guidance that you're perpetuating a cycle of learned helplessness inside of yourself that says that I don't know what the right choice is, or I don't know what to do. And so it's like, stop seeking something outside of you to tell you what the right move is. Really take time to come into stillness and to sit with your own intuition and body and soul and like move in alignment with that sort of thing. Which brings us then into our next card here about what can you do, what's your next step, right? That's like kind of how do you tap into your intuition, your unique way, coming back into your body. Don't reach outward, go inward, you know, breath work, all those sorts of things that create stillness. Go to a place of power for you, whatever that may be. You know, like she's like in her throne, right? So some people it's the woods. There's definitely, some of you really need to go out into nature. Like I can feel that coming through the collective. Like even if it's just like the field by your house, like go listen to the trees and things like that. And the cold air is good for you as long as you bundle up and are wise. So go out into the cold. It'll be good for you. And then, okay, we move on to our next card. What do you do about it right here, right now? What's the next step that's gonna help you understand the messages that you're starting to receive? This card is all about nostalgia and the inner child. It is kind of, anyway, it's kind of like a return to a simpler time in a way. Like go back to things that you used to love doing as a kid and get into the flow state of them. For some people, I just imagine somebody doing like a fashion sketch or like a drawing of like clothes or whatever your that was my thing when I was a kid. Like, so get into your creative pursuits whenever you can, you know, especially right before you go to sleep. That's like one of the most important, like potent times when it comes to connecting to your intuition, especially with this High Priestess energy. It's like, it's inside of you. And like, when do you go the deepest inside of you? When you sleep. So take a chance to engage your imagination before bedtime by returning to the things that you used to love doing. And that will kind of clear up your channel and get you deeper into your body, instead of, because there's some ungrounded energy, y'all. There's some frazzle dazzle happening. So do something with your hands to calm your nerves and also to activate your intuition. Like one of the most important parts about psychic development is that you have to like kind of have fun doing it. Like that's the best way that it works, is if you're in a heightened state and imagining and playful. And so find ways to weave playfulness into your practice. Also, there's a message coming through here of like, talk to the people who are younger than you in your life and maybe get inspired by their connection to creativity as well. So where are you headed with your gifts? For some of you, in order for you to expand into your gift, and this is for me as well, like you're seeking experiences that require you to use those gifts on the fly. This is the Chariot here, and you can see that she's riding 2 motorcycles at once, right? That's extraordinary. Balance off the chain, speed on the way, right? So you are looking and going to be presented experiences in the near future that really show you and highlight the skill sets that you uniquely have, especially under pressure. Like that's kind of where some of your greatest gifts all tend to manifest, is like there might be, I'm getting like X-Men energy. Like there, you know, in the very first episode of like the cartoon version of X-Men where Jubilee like accidentally blows up her parents' like VCR and they're like, man, she's like, I'm sorry, I'm different. Like I think that some of you might be having some of those moments where it's like, oh, whoa, like this is really powerful, like a big energy being unleashed from you. And remember to keep moving and keep experiencing and keep exploring, and remember that like you wield your imagination to create the reality that you want. And so I would say like don't get lost right now in fear and scarcity programming with the King of Cups. It's like really easy to get like really caught up in the Hierophant, like those structures at play right now, and sort of like this wounded masculine energy that can be very controlling, but like and also some like just a lot of manipulation, a lot of distortion, a lot of like overwhelming energies. And so this is like really reminding you to like stay focused on your connection to the highest timeline and don't allow for parasitic energy to really fester and throw you off your groove. And when you are in a place that where you're like paralyzed by fear or like struggling to feel like you can move forward with ease and like the water is too choppy, like that's the time where you're gonna want to return to your imagination, return to your breath, go deeply inward. And now like the message that's coming through is like now is the time to trust. What's the right way to say that? Now is the time to stay focused on objective perception of facts during periods of spiritual overwhelm. Because sometimes when there's so much going on, we look for a spiritual cause behind everything because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but like we overemphasize the other realm, and spiritual awakening without grounding is spiritual psychosis. And so to not go into that place, you really want to focus on like what's happening in your world, what's happening in the room that you're in, what's happening in the building that you're in, what are the objective facts about here and now, so then you can get really clear about where your intuition can guide you to go. Because it's super easy to kind of like get into these nightmare situations and like spiral out of control, but now is the time to really focus on like the heart-mind connection. So if there was one meditation practice I could leave you with as we're exiting this witch hat question today, it is to do a breathing technique, and I'll demonstrate it for you in a moment, that really aligns like your primal energy with your heart, with your mind. That way you're able to listen to the instincts of your body, connect with the compassion and empathy of your powerful sacred heart, and then also like use the sharp, cunning intellect of your mind in alignment with each other. So I would say always when you're doing breath work, like trust what your body wants to do. Like don't put yourself in a position or a practice that feels like it activates too much of you, and like always really listen to how it feels. But this is the breath, and I like to do this for a while, really getting into like the meditative state with it. So first what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath into your diaphragm, like at the bottom of your tummy, like down yonder. So you're going to take a deep breath in there for 1, and then you're going to take a second deep breath into your heart, 2, and then you're going to take a second or a third deep breath into your head, 3, and then you're going to breathe it out your mouth with kind of like force, and you're going to repeat that. So and I would suggest doing that for as long as it feels good, but I tend to say at least 5 minutes to really get into that ecstatic state and clear out all of the distortion. If you have any other questions that you would like to submit to the Witch's Hat, I would love to write them down and chat about them here. And if you're interested in continuing any of your spiritual development journey with me, or you're looking for resources, I dropped my links down below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.